interested in understanding how neural networks are changed with during normal healthy aging. I'm looking at an area of the hippocampus called the dentate gyrus, and we're trying to understand exactly how the networks there are altered. We're looking at the dentate gyrus because in memory, the hippocampus is affected because, it is essentially, one of the ideas of it is that it's involved as an index in memory. And there have been various studies that have found that within the hippocampus, because there are different substructures in that, the dentate gyrus is the area that is most affected. The tools that we're using what we call a hyperdrive. So we're looking at electrophysiological recordings, which are the extracellular single unit recordings of the activity within the dentate gyrus. And we use this tool called a hyperdrive, which is a tool in which we have 14 tetrodes, movable tetrodes, which we can implant within the dentate gyrus, and that enables us to have a recording of a lot of cells at the same time. So we're able to record an ensemble of cells. I met Carol at a conference in Cape Town, and I was really interested in the tools that she was doing and the research that she was doing. I thought it was really exciting and dynamic, and I listened to her talk and I thought, that's what I wanted to do all this time. But we didn't have the resources or that type of research going on in Cape Town. So while I was in Cape Town, I'd been working on NMDA receptor. So I was looking at Parkinson's disease and upregulation of NMDA receptor, which is very different from what I'm doing here. So the transition was, it was very challenging. But I mean, that's neuroscience, right? I guess that's all of science. You move from one thing to another, and you're always faced with different challenges. So I think one of the main things that people have to be aware of is that they have to learn how to adapt and be willing to adapt and be willing to accept and confront all these challenges. So not a lot of people I've discovered have the personality to do that. I guess science is a personality thing. Yeah, it's more to do with personality. A lot of intelligent people out there, but not everybody is interested in science, and not everybody finds that science is exactly what they want to do, because you have people that come in and they don't want to do it. It's not a case of people not being intelligent. It's simply a case of people really being curious, and you have this drive and you just can't let it go. And that was the one thing that got me into neuroscience, because initially when I was doing my undergraduate, which is in the University of Leicester in the UK, I had hoped to move on to go study medicine. Then in the final year of my studies, I was doing this project on treatments of Parkinson's disease. That's how I initially became involved in Parkinson's disease. And there were so many questions that I found within that project that I couldn't find answers for. I couldn't find answers in, the journals I was reading. I couldn't find answers from all the professors I interviewed and hammered with questions. And I couldn't let it go. I'd spend days and nights just looking at this and trying to integrate all of this information. And that mental high, because that's exactly what it is, just made me think, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I may seem crazy. I remember my brother coming into my room, and my room was scattered with papers and all these all these articles, and he's like, what's going on? Don't you want to go out? And I was like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what is fun. It's like, it's Friday. You don't want to go out. I'm like, no. Everybody can go wherever it is you want to go, but this is what I want to do. So I guess you just have something in you that drives you into neuroscience. You just really fall in love with it. I was speaking to another professor the other day, and she said that she felt it was an epiphany. She was at a dinner, and she had been a physics major and, chemist, and she was at a dinner and she heard a neuroscientist talk. He was one of the people that were there, and she just felt, that's what I want to do. So you get, you just fall into it, and you fall in love with it, and you literally do become seduced by it. It is mental seduction.